Hello, butterfly. Welcome to Butterfly Dreams. I am Stephanie. Welcome. Take a moment to arrive here. Wherever you're watching from, just let your shoulders soften. Let your breath drop a little deeper into your body. This isn't a video you need to understand. It's one you're meant to feel. Today, I want to reflect on something that's been quietly revealing itself to me over time. Something that's felt truer the more I've lived it. Why making art has become one of the most radical things a human can do in the age of algorithms. As I flip through my completed journals for 2025, I'm not sharing a tutorial and I'm not performing creativity. I'm simply letting art speak for itself as a way of regulating the nervous system, reclaiming inner sovereignty, and remembering what it feels like to belong to yourself. We live in a world that is increasingly fast, loud, and predictive. Most of what we interact with daily, feeds, timelines, notifications, headlines, is designed to keep us emotionally activated. Not peaceful, not reflective, activated. The systems shaping modern life don't need to tell us what to think anymore. They learn how we react. They track what keeps us scrolling. What makes us anxious? What makes us feel seen? What makes us feel afraid? And slowly, subtly, they begin to shape the inner landscape. Not through force, but through repetition. This is the age of algorithms. Nearly a century ago, Edward Bernays, Sigmund Freud's nephew, wrote about propaganda, about how public opinion could be shaped by appealing to emotion rather than reason. Back then, influence moved through newspapers, radio, and advertising. Today, influence is quieter, more covert, and far more intimate. It lives in recommendation engines, in engagement metrics, in systems that don't just respond to you, but anticipate you. The shift is important. We've moved from persuasion to prediction. And when behavior becomes predictable, agency quietly erodes. Here's something that is rarely acknowledged. A dysregulated nervous system cannot think freely or critically. When the body is flooded with fear, outrage, shame, urgency, comparison, the mind narrows. Nuance disappears. Curiosity collapses. And reaction replaces reflection. This is not a personal feeling. It's biology. It's psychology. Which is why modern day systems target emotion first. Because whoever shapes the nervous system shapes perception. This is where art becomes quietly revolutionary. Not art as performance, not art as content, not art optimized for visibility, but art as process. Art made slowly. Art made without witnesses. Art made with the hands. Art made without knowing where it's going. Art that exists outside metrics. When you sit with paper, paint, color, texture, your nervous system begins to settle. Your breath changes. Your attention lengthens. Your sense of time shifts. You're no longer being tracked. You're no longer being optimized. You are present. And presence is incompatible with manipulation. In the age of algorithms, making art is a refusal. A refusal to be constantly available. A refusal to be endlessly productive. A refusal to outsource meaning. It's a refusal to let your inner world be shaped solely by what's trending, urgent, or profitable. Every page in these journals represent time that was not harvested, attention that was not monetized, emotion that was not extracted. This isn't loud resistance, it's quiet sovereignty. One of the most radical aspects of art making today is completion. Most systems are built on unfinished loops, endless scrolling, perpetual updates, never arriving satisfaction. But a completed artwork says something different. It says, this moment has been metabolized. This feeling has been held. This process has reached its natural end. Completion restores trust in yourself, in your rhythm, in your ability to move forward without external validation. That matters more than we realize. Modern influence works best when identity becomes fused with opinion. When beliefs become who we are, questioning feels dangerous. Disagreement feels like threat. Art gently dissolves this rigidity. When you're creating, you're not defending an identity. You're exploring experience. You're allowed to change, to contradict yourself, to experiment, to feel without explaining. This flexibility is a form of psychological freedom, and freedom begins internally. Surveillance capitalism thrives on abstraction, data points, profiles, probabilities. Art brings us back to sensation, color, pressure, movement, breath. The body does not speak in metrics. It speaks in signals. When you make art, you're relearning that language. You're anchoring yourself in what can't easily be quantified, and therefore can't be easily controlled. There's a reason art has existed in every culture across every era. Long before psychology named it, humans understood that creating was a way to regulate, integrate, and heal. Art completes stress cycles. It allows emotion to move without needing to justify itself. In a world that constantly pulls us outward, art returns us inward. An inwardly anchored person is very difficult to steer. What you're watching isn't a highlight reel. It's evidence. Evidence of time spent with myself. Evidence of choosing slowness. Evidence of staying with feeling instead of numbing it. These journals don't exist to be impressive. They exist because it was needed. That distinction matters. I often think about longevity, about what kind of work remains meaningful long after trends fade. Algorithms will change, platforms will disappear, language will evolve, but the human need for expression, regulation, meaning, beauty, inner authority will remain. Art speaks across time because it speaks to the nervous system, not the moment. This video isn't asking you to do anything. It's simply offering you a remembering that you don't need permission to create, that slowness is not laziness, that your inner world deserves care. And ultimately, that making art, any kind of art, is already enough. If you take anything from this, let it be this. You were never meant to be endlessly optimized. You were never meant to be predictable. You were never meant to be programmable. You were meant to feel, to create, to complete, to belong to yourself. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for honoring your attention. Fly free. I love you.